beautiful people, welcome back to another video. So this is the 1000 subscriber Q&A, and I never thought that we would reach this number this quick. So I've been at this YouTube grind for, I don't know, for the past 8 months, but I've been on the platform for the past 8 years. So it's a long time, but hey, it's the beginning of this YouTube journey and I'm really happy. So in this YouTube video, I'll be answering some questions that you guys posted on Twitter and Instagram, and also I'll be doing a little giveaway. So if you are interested in the giveaway, you can just skip down to the final part of the video and you can get the details about that. But if you are here on the questions, then yeah, let's begin. So the first question is by Nicholas NG, and he asks, what do you do when you feel demotivated, especially with your podcast or other side hustles? Thank you for asking that question, because were a lot of times where I felt demotivated to upload a YouTube video because it was taking a lot of time to shoot or edit or something like that. It happened a lot of times, but what I realized is by having a system in place, and working on just uploading YouTube videos rather than just perfecting them helped me a lot. So that's one thing. And just having a system in general, because I'm a student, I'm a freelance video editor for other people. I edit my own YouTube videos, I record my own YouTube videos, I script my own YouTube videos, and there are a lot of things. So if you don't have a system in place, I highly recommend that one. So the next question is from Charlie from the YouTube channel Tech Hours, and he asks, how do you go about approaching brands, and also how do you run a successful podcast? Well, thank you for the kind words, Charlie, but I just have begun. I have a decent podcast, I would say a successful podcast, but it really means a lot, so thank you. And how do you go approaching brands? So what I usually do is I not only send them email, but I message them on all of their social platforms. So you have to find a platform where they're not followed a lot. For instance, many of you people ignore that. Brands also have Facebook pages, they have LinkedIn pages, they have Instagram pages. Now, usually Instagram and Twitter are the platforms where people hit them the most, but if you message them on LinkedIn and Facebook, you're bound to get a reply. So make sure you search through that. And emailing, when you email them, when you email or message them, make sure you put the narrative clearly. You have to tell them what value you would be offering for their brand. Even if they want to send a free product, you got to tell them what you're going to do, why you want that. So having a clear narrative in place really helps. So Fahad Al-Abadi asks, the journey of being an MJ guy to a YouTuber. So MJ is the college that I go to for my engineering, and I'm still in the final year of my engineering. And let's say for the journey of being a YouTuber, it's rewarding. That's what I can say. At the end of the day, even if I get one comment saying that I helped them, or like even at the end of the week or a month, if there's one comment that says that I helped them by any way, shape or form, then it's a win for me. And that's what I consider this to be. And also one thing that you might have noticed, that I've put up multiple questions. So if I find one question to be similar to the other ones, I put them all together so that you don't have to watch through a 30-minute Q&A. So the next question is from TechThisOut.shop. So he asks, what was one of your hardest challenges to overcome while getting started, upload consistency, and finding your voice online? Very curious. So I think one of the biggest things that I had to overcome was the way I sound. There was so much negativity revolved around this. People always used to make fun of the way I sound, and I had to embrace that by not listening to them. It was difficult at the beginning, but hey, I'm really okay with the way I sound, and I really don't care about them now. Uploading consistency. Now, I'm not the most consistent guy to ask this question, but I have a system in place from now on, which revolves around batching, and I usually just shoot my 1 month worth of videos within 1 week, and I'm done, and it's off to editing. That's how it works for me. So yeah, batching really helps with being consistent on YouTube. Finding your voice online, again, if it's my podcasts, didn't really name it. If I didn't do the first episode, if I didn't have that 5 people listening to me, I think I wouldn't be here with the podcast and didn't really name it. So I think that was the story for me, and it was beginning a podcast. that can be the same story with you, so do that. So Ranveer here asks, I've got 2 questions for you. What is the motivation to keep creating content? How can you find the type of content that's right for you? So let me answer the first question. What is the motivation to keep me creating content? It's really simple. Right after 5 years from now, that's what I expect, that I just want to look back and I don't want to regret not doing the stuff I really want to. So for instance, I started making YouTube videos when I was 12 years old, and I was making YouTube videos on how to help people flying Hydra in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Yeah, I did that. I helped people hacking through their PSPs. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff, but it was just, now that I look back, I'm happy that I did those things. But I wanted more of those things to be in the past so that I can see myself grow. But I didn't do a lot of that, and I don't want that to happen again. And that's why I'm making YouTube videos. And along the way, if I can help some people, that's so awesome. The next question was, how can you find the type of content that's right for you? And by the way, congratulations on 1,000 subscribers. Thank you, Ranveer. So the type of content that's right for you, what I would say is use the Ali Abdal trick. Make 50 YouTube videos of whatever the things that you want to do. You don't need to figure out your niche right from the get-go of 50 subscribers. You just need to start creating. And after 50 YouTube videos, you'll realize what is working for you, what you really like, and then that's your niche. That's going to be your content for the rest of time until you want to do it. That's how I worked, and I hope that works for you too. So the next question is from Tech United, and he asks, what are your future plans and how do you deal with failure? So, oh my. Let's talk about the future plans. I don't have any. I've stopped thinking about 5 years down the road or 10 years down the road. It just makes things complicated, and I just don't want to think about it. But if you want to talk about career-wise, I have something planned out, and it is to complete my bachelor's this year, and then I just want to pursue master's in computer science or master's in data analytics, whatever works, and just want to do that career-wise. But YouTube-wise is just creating awesome YouTube videos and help out people along the way. And dealing with failure, well, that's my favorite thing. There's so many times where I've failed, right? Let it be in the university or life. What I would say is shrinking down the things that are really close to you. Think about the things that really mean to you. So don't put out 40 things, just put out one thing, and focus on that one thing and expand from there slowly. That's what I did, and I hope that works for you. And if that explanation is really terrible, then I seriously hope you watch this video or here. It's I don't remember the title exactly, but it was made by me. It was how to deal with how to overcome fear for failure, and I used the third door to explain how you can overcome that. It's an amazing YouTube video, and you should watch it. Also happy to announce that I'll be uploading the podcast with Martin tomorrow. So right after this gets uploaded, the next day we'll be having the podcast with Martin from Tech Altar, and it was an awesome conversation. So make sure you stick around. The next question is from Curious Human, Krish Malhotra. Apologize for butchering your name. I don't know if it's K silent or not, but hey, let's get your question. So, how did you get your first podcast guest? Will be helpful for people thinking or starting a new podcast. Well, I've made a dedicated video on how you should start your podcast, and it is How to Start Radici under $50. So make sure you go ahead and watch that. But for me personally, it was the interview with Rahul Sharma, and it happened so random. So there's a whole story backed out to it, but I want to keep that for another day. But basically, I asked some questions to the CEO and founder of Revolt Motors India, and I just asked him some really tech-based geeky questions, and he was awesome enough to answer them, and I put them in the podcast. You can just interview your fans. And, okay, I've got so many things covered on how to get your first guest. I just hope you check out How to Start Radici YouTube video. One of the most beautiful things that happened on this chat is, what is your podcast about? Someone asked him, what is your podcast upon? And she'd love to be a guest. So basically, he just got his first yes. That was so awesome, and that was the most wholesome thing that I saw that day. So congratulations. The next question is from Pink the Plant, and he asks, I would love to see you talk about your company Cube and tell us about your YouTube journey. I'm hyped for the giveaway too. So I'll answer the first question because I've answered the second question already. It is my company, Project Cube. So me and my friends started the company back in 2017. We were all 18 years old and we wanted to make budget gaming computers for the Indian market. So the basic core idea was we'll be using the best of the price to performance configurations, and we would sell that to customers in India who want to get into gaming for a really low price. And that was the core idea, but it was going really well up till 2020, and then China happened. The stocks from China, they got inflated in value, they were getting expensive, and the point of making a budget gaming computer didn't even make sense. So we had to stop it for a while. We don't know the future of the company, but I'll tell you something that really learned a lot of things, and my friend Rehan, who's gonna watch this video, is gonna completely agree with that. So Akram says, thanks for the awesome content. Most welcome, Akram. It really means a lot. If you could give one advice to someone who would love to start a YouTube channel but can't conquer fear of failure or acceptance, what would it be? I would seriously recommend you to watch this video, Fear of Failure. I know I'm pointing in the wrong direction. I don't know. That would be helpful. But another thing would be just closing your ears. Yeah, believe me, when you think about acceptance, people, it really gets complicated. Now, the beautiful thing about YouTube, what I used to put back then when I was 10, 12, I don't know when I used to watch YouTube, like when I began. I always used to think what you means in the YouTube. And I've got multiple definitions of it since then, but I used to say it's you. That means you're putting yourself out there. And I mean, if you don't put yourself out there, then it doesn't mean anything. So put yourself out there, don't care about people. That's what you have to do. I hope that helped you out. So Abdul Rahman asks, future plans for YouTube. Well, the thing is, just make awesome YouTube videos, help out people. I don't have a lot of that. That's it. And make amazing podcast episodes on the way. Yeah, I love that. Jerson Benny asks, tech recommendations for a new YouTuber. I would highly recommend you to watch the How to Sire Richie video. I've recommended some amazing tech for podcasting, but I would say that would also work for YouTubing. I think I should make a dedicated YouTube video about this. So I would say invest in your microphone and invest in your lighting. So lighting is inexpensive, you can DIY it. Believe me, I'm doing it, and it just needs to be the basics that needs to be nailed down, and that's what you need. I would heavily recommend you to buy a mic and set up your lighting gear. Don't need to buy the camera right now. So here we are on Instagram questions, and ZA Mansouri asks, first thing came in mind when you see or saw 1,000 subscribers on the channel. I was really happy, obviously. It took me a lot of time to be here, and I quickly realized that being consistent really helps. I've been using the word really a lot in this video, I guess. So I was super happy, and I started writing down ideas for the upcoming 3 months. So hey, content already planned out. Fuad Hussain asks, how did you overcome negativity on the way? Well, just stop listening to people. There are all kinds of people. Like, some of the people told me, you should jump on bandwagons if you want to get views. You should jump on these trends if you want to get on views. You know, in the beginning, I used to think that mattered, but it doesn't. If you jump on the bandwagons, then it's temporary fame, and then bam, you're bye-bye. You don't want to have that thing, alrighty? So stop listening to people and do what you really want to do. So Abrar ul Haq asks, how was the experience with John? Well, the experience, when we sum it down into one word, it was dreamlike. And we had a chat right before the episode for 45 minutes, and he was calm and chill, like he's usually in the YouTube videos. and we had a talk, and it was so awesome to have him on the show, and I really enjoyed the chat that I had with him. One thing that I want to announce is that I have another YouTube video coming out that features Jonathan Morrison, so look out for that. So Sheikh Obaid asked, how's Mac Mini going and how it is better than Mac's Air? So I think what he meant to ask was how the Mac Mini is better than the MacBook Air. And to that I would answer that MacBook Air doesn't have a fan, Mac Mini does have a fan. So when put under load, the Mac Mini actually performs better because the computational tasks on Mac Mini, for instance, if you edit 8K raw YouTube video, right? So it is put under heavy load. It doesn't stress out the cores because it has a fan, but MacBook Air doesn't. So it terminal throttles and then doesn't provide adequate performance. That's the only difference between them. But I would highly recommend MacBook Air if you are into 1080p or even 1440p video editing, but not more than that. And 16 gigabytes of RAM. Make sure you get that. The last question for today is from Muhammad Ismail, and he asks, you have to describe the days at IISR, specifically the 9th and 10th grades. Oh my. So I studied in International Indian School, Riyadh in Saudi Arabia, and 9th and 10th grade was super awesome. I was privileged enough to meet really super awesome people like you, and I just want to say, Farah ma'am, a little thank you. So my 9th grade English teacher showed up to the video podcast and commented down. So that meant the world to me because it's more than any view, because Farah ma'am motivated me to be who I am today. And if I'm able to speak in front of the camera, if I have confidence to speak in front of the camera, it's because of her. So yeah, thank you Farah ma'am, and thanks Ismail for all the amazing days in the 9th and 10th grade in IISR. So that's pretty much it for the Q&A. I'm sorry if I couldn't go through your question. There were so many, and I'm privileged to have so many questions, but I didn't want to make the YouTube video long. Now for the giveaway details, so I'll be giving away a $10 Amazon gift card. Now it will depend upon the place you will live, so it's international. That's pretty much it for the giveaway, and I hope that it works for your country. All you have to do is just put in your Twitter or Instagram username so that I can DM you. Make sure you keep your DMs open if you win. I'll be putting this in a random generator, and I'll message you after a week. So before this video ends, I have to say one more thing. Yeah, I've said too many one more things, but I've just made a 10-second montage featuring all my YouTube videos. And if you're interested in seeing a glance to what this channel has gone through for the past 8 years, you can have a look at that. And if not, just want to say bye-bye, take care, stay safe, and Happy New Year. I'm really excited for all the things 2021. So yeah, bye-bye. If it's a dream, it's an amazing dream, and thanks for coming in, and thanks for changing our lives.